we are here live at the Cranford Theater. I am Lauren Konkar-Sheehy, the Executive Director of the Garden State Film Festival. And with me today we have our gang from Beggarman that is going to be playing here at the Cranford Theater on Saturday, March 29th from 6:15 to 8:30 p.m. So, let's go around, tell us who you are, what role you played with making the film, and what was your experience like?
Hi, I'm Matt Grossman. I'm the head producer, and I also played the role of Jimmy the cab driver in the film.
Jimmy the cab driver.
Yeah,
Jimmy,
what
how
the
you
hell,
doing?
dude? Yeah.
We're from Jersey, you know?
A lot of nicknames. I'm Frankie Montero. I am the writer-director of Beggarman, and that's pretty much it.
I'm just gonna say I'm actually on the board of the Garden State Film Festival.
Yes.
Showing her,
Whoops.
but I get to stand next to the talent, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you are correct. I'm Lenny Thomas. I played Anthony Beggarman Hughes in the film Beggarman. And I guess I'm also EP, executive producer of it
Yes.
too, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Great. Absolutely.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
I really still can't believe that we pulled that movie
Oh,
off.
there's stories.
Yeah, oh,
Lots of
my
the
Sure.
Q&A afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
You know, one of the things we do talk about all the time, and just to interrupt for a moment, is that half the battle is completing it, is finishing, is making it. And that's one of the things that the Garden State Film Festival really always tries to honor, because everyone talks about making something, talks about wanting to do it, but you actually did it. And we really love celebrating independent film.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree totally. My background is from independent film, and you know, starting out, I tried to make a film, you know, and I really saw how hard it was. It took 3 years. I didn't finish it, you know, and then that led into like my first, you know, solo project. But Lenny and I talk about it all the time. You know, we grew up trying to get so many independent projects done. I mean, really, as anyone out there, any filmmaker, it's just an accomplishment to get past the finish line, like you said, to get it done. That's just a huge accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, and not have it die in post-production, which a lot of films happen to, or not happen to, but seriously, funding for it is where things either get made or get broken.
I think a great point to play off of that a little bit more is you guys actually, which is fantastic, and where you want to celebrate that is you brought it over the finish line. Because
Yeah.
that doesn't happen a lot of times. And no disrespect to independent filmmakers, because that's why the festival exists, to highlight independent filmmaking. But you guys actually brought it over the line.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't. How do we
It's-
manage?
Tell us
It's-
how you did it,
it's-
Mr. Grossman.
It's a team effort. There's no other
Yeah.
way to put it. It's a team effort. You can't do this alone, and you need good people that are in the trenches with you. So this was my first experience head producing or doing it on the production side. We're all actors, but this was my film school. Going through every step, through pre-pro, casting, contracts, dealing with unions, and then on locations, and then, you know, pre-pro for 6 months, shoot for 3 weeks, another 6 months of post. You know, it was awesome, and I would not do it with anybody else other than these guys and the team that we had, because there's no other way we would have got this done.
I'm not going to keep on hijacking it, but I want to just highlight what you just said, which also plays into what Doreen and Karen were talking about before in our previous podcast. It's the communal experience.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the teamwork. Coming to a theater is a communal experience. Making a movie, what you guys did, is about teamwork. It's a communal experience.
And more so because there's highs and lows, and we pick each other up. I mean, it is. Sometimes I think we're masochists, but
We are. No,
we
it's
are.
not a
We like
thing.
it.
We
We are.
absolutely.
There's times where we pick each other up, where things are slow, things aren't going the way that you want them to. It could be going quicker, and we just, you know, one of us gets down, one of us picks the other up. Then that person gets down, and the other one picks them up. It's you need it. There's no other way to get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's 3 people up here, but we have a large crew and very dedicated hard workers, and
All behind the
it's-
camera.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, and quite a few of them are here, and you know, but that's the thing. You have to have dedication. They have to be game. They have to know. I mean, you know, we dealt with you know, Beggarman was like half independent, half, I guess, like studio, or like how a bigger budget production would go. And what I say is, like, you know, we had departments where you know, they were kind of like just focused on their department, let's say, or they were just kind of in their own thing. everyone needs to be about this project, you know, and kind of open-minded too, to understand, like, you know, we just all got to be in it, you know, and not just basically, some people were there for the money, some people were there for the project. You need mostly people there for the project, for sure.
And for the director's vision. Ultimately, that's
Yeah.
what we're all working towards.
Yeah, you're working towards that one goal altogether, and it is an accomplishment to get it done, and we're excited.
We're so excited. But speaking about writing it, what made you have his character be a veteran? I love the beginning shots and everything too, by the way. And so many locations. Jeez.
Yes.
was that like?
Yes, there
That
were.
seemed,
Yes, there were.
You're like, keep the car running. We're
Why,
just
yes,
gonna get
there
this
were.
one shot and leave. Let's go.
No.
Producers wanted to kill me.
Yeah. But you know what? You had to get everything to make all the pieces fit. And now you were talking about before how you tried to make other movies, but now your brain knows, shit, I need this, I need that, I need that to make the list to be ready to go.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And you have to have that experience. I mean, we have a lot of locations, but like Matt said, you know, there's a certain vision, you know, and obviously with New York, there was just so many things I wanted to capture. You know, in the subway scenes, it was very difficult. But you know, you just basically
Flashbacks.
yeah, that was crazy. But you know, writing him as a veteran, I just, you know, I started writing this film being out on the streets of New York and seeing the homeless people and just getting to talk to them, and I just started realizing there were a lot of homeless veterans in the city. And I'm a historian, and you know, I have a big imagination, so I read a lot about gangsters from all different decades, you know, and basically, like, there was a lot of money going around back in the day, and I always wondered, you know, if someone discovered a suitcase, if someone, you know, pulled an old car out from the East River and there was, you know, money in the trunk or a body or something, you know, there's just so much history and so many things that went down. I was like, wouldn't it be interesting if you had a homeless person discover a suitcase full of money from the 70s? You know, we don't know if it's a gangster, if it's a pimp, if it's mafia, but it's somewhere in the underworld that this suitcase came from, right? Yeah. And I thought it'd be interesting and challenging as a writer to make a kind of thriller roller coaster ride with a homeless person being the main character, you know. And I just thought it was important to showcase the veterans, because I think that that needs to be highlighted a little bit. It was just alarming to me. These people fought for us, and they were just out in the streets pretty much.
I'm going to tell you something,
Yeah.
and Lauren, again, you know, the veterans do play a big role. The military plays a big role in the Garden State Film Festival. We're actively involved with them, so it really kind of hit home the character you're playing and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It was really well done.
It means a lot, yeah. And I have a couple good friends that that were in Iraq and stuff like that, so it was also an homage to them and a nod, and thank you.
Once a month, our founder, Diane Raver, is on the largest military radio show, and we bring feel-good films to our military. But before we had digital films, we would send him a love letter and a DVD, and we would mail it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
it's
miss the
pretty cool.
DVDs.
Yeah. We still have like one burner left, so if you want anything. But it's amazing. You can feel in the movie everybody working together, and the locations. I was like, oh my god. Like each one, because I'm watching it differently than a regular human.
Yeah.
So I was like, son of a bitch, man.
Yeah. How'd you do
And the
that?
car and going upstairs, and that room seemed a little
yeah.
tricky. I won't give away what's going on.
But
yeah,
There's
but
a
I
lot
was
for the
like,
Q&A afterwards.
yeah, there's a
believe
lot.
me.
Yes.
There's a
there's
lot
so
going
much.
on.
Yes.
And after the film, if you wanted to talk more, you can
Yes.
go to one of the filmmaker lounges and really get into detail about everything
That's
too.
great.
But we love that after all of the films in every single
Yep.
film block, there's a Q&A at the end, and
awesome.
everybody comes up to the front, and it's going to be really exciting. So, what was it like?
Yes.
Like memorizing your lines, getting into the character, and getting ready, and having your best friend be a suitcase.
Best friend based suitcase. That's actually hilarious. It's always exhilarating. I get to, right? Like, this was the first time I'm helming a whole film, and we're shooting in New York City. So
Yeah.
I'm the city became a character, which added to, you know, what Frankie's writing. And I happen to have a brother who is an ex-Navy SEAL,
Oh, wow.
so who was dealing with homelessness at one point.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had, real life situations that applied to. People thought that I wrote this thing because
Oh,
they know about my brother, right?
That's crazy.
But
wow.
just Tony is such a sweet human being,
Yeah.
and goes over to serve, and his circumstance leads him
Yes.
into homelessness, and that was really what I wanted to just show, be right. I don't really get the chance to play characters who are as vulnerable and sensitive like that. So, oh my gosh, it was a lot, but it was great.
I'm saying, and it's a
Yeah.
big deal because you're carrying the whole film.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a lot of. I'd like you to talk about that a little bit. As an actor, from that perspective, you are carrying the film. It's a very pretty heavy load.
It's exhilarating to me. Oh my gosh, what I get to. Like I say, seriously, I'm in every freaking scene. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it goes back to I'm Meisner trained, right? And it being able to, I treat it like it's tightrope walking, right? I want to be that damn good where if I slip, I die. You know what I mean? Slip, fall, I die. I want to be so dialed in that there's no chance for that, and that if other people are falling off, I can catch them. You know what I mean? Like serious, serious, and it's wild because my DP said while we were shooting, there was a scene on the subway where we had seconds to get the shot, right? And I'm over here looking at every single area, and I'm like, I became my brother, my Navy SEAL brother, and my DP was like, you move like a Navy SEAL. Where'd that come from? I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know. This is not me. It's God, because I don't know where it comes from. But I know I have people to show up for. And when that happens, the impossible can happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
I love the
In a nutshell.
relationship with the writer, director, the actors, and the DP. That's something that I'm just fascinated with like Rick Cook and everybody.
because
Like
there has to be that bond has got to be there. Everybody
Yeah.
has to. It's like a mind melt, and when the minds come together, you all are once again going towards that singular vision of carrying out what is necessary to make happen.
And
Yeah,
trust.
absolutely. It's one of the first things that Matt brought up, because this was my first time working with the DP Michael Lyons, and Lenny actually worked with him before, and Lenny brought him to our attention. And but my concern was that he was from Atlanta. He wasn't from New York, and this was a New York movie, and it's very
Very different from Atlanta.
right,
Very different from Atlanta.
he needed to. We had to spend a lot of time in pre-production, going to these locations, and I wanted him to really know and understand the city, and get an eye for it, and I think he did by the time we started shooting, for sure.
He was dropping F-bombs as
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He got real
Yeah.
ballsy. Like
Yeah,
he was indoctrinated real fast.
Like jaywalking.
What? Seriously? Yeah.
with a
I mean,
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when
Venice on
when
the
you're
shoulder.
he had the Sony Venice 2, and it's this huge camera. It's really heavy, and we're bringing it on the subway. We had no business doing that. And,
Yeah, but it is independent filmmaking, as we know. What just recently won an Academy Award. You have
Yeah.
to be an independent
Yeah.
filmmaker, and you have to do what you need
From
to do.
Jersey.
From
have to.
Jersey.
But that's
Yeah.
awesome. A New York movie won. You know what I mean? All those accolades, like right
Yeah.
on time, right on
Right,
time.
for
I
sure.
love that
for
stuff.
sure. And that's the thing about this film, is that it's New York filmmakers, New York actors. It was very important to me, to get that authenticity, I wanted to also capture a lot of the architecture from back in the day, and that's still here. You see everything looks very clean in some of these newer New York films, and there's a lot of neighborhoods that still have that gritty look to it, so I wanted to capture that, especially when we went into Chinatown.
We did film in Jersey some scenes. Just
Yeah,
so you know.
yeah. Listen,
yeah.
We popped in. We got some locations. on this
Listen,
side of the-
you don't have to go to.
Listen, we're one huge economic pool. I'm
It's
gonna
all good.
say
Trust
this
me.
again. I keep on talking about this.
Yeah.
We both places. We all thrive if we're together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but long story short, though, it was very important, though, that to have that kind of relationship and communication between the director, the DP, the lead actor, and we really were like, when you're out there in New York City on the subways and stuff like that, I always say we're out in the battlefield. Like the first day we'll ease into it, the second day like we're hitting Normandy, and that's it. Like we're going full throttle.
Taking
And,
rounds.
it's really you're out there. I mean, there was some times where we did those subway scenes where we just had to be around commuters in the middle of rush hour. It was nuts. So,
Getting hit.
or
Polite
waiting till
elbows.
like 4 a.m. when you're doing action scenes on the subway, you know, we had to wait till those late night hours, but that came with, you know, going all the way to the end. We were at the Coney Island stop, I think, for like an hour, just waiting for it to start up again.
Right.
And it's 4 a.m. You know, you're trying to keep everyone high energy and going. And
the lighting in those places too. Yeah. You're like, ah.
Yeah. We had to, we stuck with a lot of natural lighting, you know. We might bring a few little pieces, a flag or a little balance board, you know, but we kept it really natural in the subways. And I love that. I love the way it looks naturally. You know, there's just that there's just something grittier about it. You know, it reminded me of movies like The Joker or Fight Club. You know, it was that kind
I'm
of.
going to go back to like John Cassavetes because I'm like really old up here.
Oh, stop!
No, we all can
So
appreciate
John-
that.
Okay.
Talking about a legend.
Yeah,
We can
so
all
I
appreciate
think, and that's one of the wonderful things. I think everyone, you should see this film. You know, you're up here. This is a film. This is one of the ones you have to watch. You really captured that independent style. I want to say the Cassavetes style. You talk about just grabbing it and capturing it, and he told those type of stories. And while you're your own story, but this is very much, you know, honoring, I think, that whole genre of independent film.
Well, that means like the world to me.
Yes.
I mean, you know, there's quite a few of us that look up to Cassavetes. I'm not sure if you'd be too fond of some of the violence in the movie.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I love it.
but maybe he'd be proud of the run and gun aspect. And like you said, you know, he hit the streets with a lamp he used to use. You know, and I mean, he's just a legend. And you know, I'm glad that you brought out his name. I hope other filmmakers just continue to talk about his legacy. He's very important for sure.
And it is a roller coaster that you bring us on, and the whole time I'm just talking to the screen. So I'm not like,
love it.
no, how could they do that? How could that be? No, you son of a bitch.
We wanted
Yeah.
full emotion out,
And then,
right?
oh no, with everybody. But it is that roller coaster, and the whole time you're just like, ooh, no, please let this happen. Please let that happen.
Yeah.
But so thank you
Yes.
for giving us those little nuggets and then taking them away.
Yeah, you know, one of the things I wanted to ask is each one of you, because I won't be doing your panel, you know, is that what was your takeaway with making the movie? Do you have a takeaway? Is it a good, funny takeaway, a serious takeaway, a light bulb moment? I don't know. Maybe the question's way too vague, but I always like to get something that maybe the audience that's watching wasn't expecting. You know, what was that? Is there a
Well,
takeaway, or
It's a
maybe
really
Matt's
good
got?
question,
I think
yeah.
Matt's got a bunch of
There's
takeaways.
a lot. You want me to start?
Frankie, start. Yeah.
It was a challenge. It was tough. It was a battle. But the good times and the fun moments at 4 a.m. when you're delirious and trying to, you know, work and fight for it, keep everybody happy and fed and everything else.
Set therapist. I know.
It outweighs. And times like this, being able to have, you know, an audience see it and get their feedback and people that appreciate the fight that we went through, to get it completed and to get it done and to work with people I consider my brothers now and sisters, everybody. The takeaway is that if it was easy, everybody would do it. But it takes a certain kind of person, a bit crazy, but to get this stuff done. So especially at the independent level, and from what I hear, even at the higher levels, it's even crazier.
Yes.
So we're going towards that. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Get
I'm
on the
excited for the
crazy
future.
train.
Yeah.
We were on the train a few times.
I would say
Well, yeah.
community is
Absolutely.
the utmost important, because seriously, like you were saying, Frankie, you gotta want to do this thing, or don't do it. Don't come to us. Don't come to crews like ours. Don't come to close knit production teams unless you really want to do it. If you're in it for the money, you're in the wrong industry. You know, you have the potential of making a lot but the only way you can do that is if you find a cohesive unit and you love it. You have to love it. Otherwise, the stuff that we went through to make this movie.
Yeah.
If we didn't love it and we're doing this
We got
craziness,
stories.
something is wrong with us. I mean, something already is wrong with us.
Well, yeah.
But even more so, all right?
They go,
But
why are you doing it? Yeah, you know, the takeaways, you know, realizing that you had a loyal crew, and the first AD, our ADs, producers, Ariel Zalkowski, who's here, Kim Flores. I mean, these people were like answering calls 24/7. You know, people don't understand. Some people were on set for like a day or two, you know, and they do their thing. And it goes for not just for cast, I mean, even crew members. You know, there'd be certain grips or this or that. And these were people that were there the entire time. 6 months after, they're still doing paperwork now. And you know, it just doesn't stop. People don't really understand that. My two takeaways would be, I guess, creatively, I didn't expect there to be as much comedy as I first envisioned.
Okay, so let's throw that out there. You
I
got
like
some
that,
comedy mixed in. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and
That's
I was
good.
okay with it. And I think, it ends up happening. Some of the best films have comedy and drama. I'll say even like Goodfellas. There's so many intense scenes in that film and dramatic scenes, but there's a lot of comedy in it too. So that was a takeaway for sure.
Wait,
And
but were you like, what are you guys doing? Or were you open to it as it was happening, or afterwards, like, oh, okay?
Yeah, because we did a lot of takes. I like to do a lot of takes. And I have quite a few like theater actors in my company of actors, so it's like let them go big and let them. We do wide shots and stuff like that. But in the edit is when it started, because there's the movie you write, the movie you shoot, the movie you edit.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
so
yes.
when we were editing, it was coming out more funnier than I imagined, and my editor Justin was looking at me like, like you do you want this? And he's like, it's pretty funny. I was like, yeah, everything has to be so serious. I mean, because God knows there's going to be serious scenes in the film, so that was okay with me. I got that takeaway from it, and
That's good.
I forgot the other takeaway. It's been a couple minutes, but if I remember, it'll come back to me.
It's
But
all good.
that was a big one.
Yeah.
That's
So, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to check out our panel, because all of the thoughts that you have when you're driving home and going to go to sleep, write them down, because we have
Absolutely.
Green Slate, who's one of the leading payroll companies here that is
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
That's
they're going to
great.
be at the panel, so I know you probably still
Very
have
cool. Yeah.
questions, everybody that's still doing paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what's so
Oh,
important
yeah.
with that is you think your budget is your budget, but until you really learn more about payroll and SAG and everything,
Yeah.
then the oh shit part comes where you're like, oh, well, let's go back to the drawing board and like really work out things. And then also, so many filmmakers do not budget anything at all for marketing or even for film festivals and stuff like that. So that really needs to be in your step one plan before you even.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree, because the artist doesn't really think about that. I know I wasn't.
Well, it happens. Yeah,
That's
that's
what the
why
producers are
the
for.
producer's brain, is like,
Post production, lots of money for post. It's
Lots
not
of
just
money
about
for
shooting
post.
it. I'm like, let's just shoot it.
Let's just get it
Just
done.
shoot it.
Just get it done.
Post is big.
Now what do
we do?
Big.
And then you're
like
like, oh my
edit-
god, I need money for sound. I need money for this and that.
because post is one level. Then when you're like, oh, sound. And then if you want to make a little change back over here, you got to redo it over here. So a lot of people don't get that until you live through it and you're like, whoa. And like you're saying, we lived through it. But that trust is so important. I tell our students that you can't go back in time. So you wanting to shoot many takes until you think that you have it is great, and it's just so important. But also at the panel, we're going to have Gannon Murphy, who is the general manager of Cinelli Studios and president of the Screen Alliance of New Jersey.
Nice. Wow.
He's also the Garden State Film Festival honorary chair for
Yes.
2025. And we have the fabulous Janice Kovac, who is a motion picture and television commissioner and also the mayor of Clinton, New Jersey. And from Green Slate, chief sales officer is Paul Cosentino. So I know you have some questions.
Oh yeah, I'll be writing them down.
And then also, like, for people that didn't even maybe start, they're still in pre-production, come to that panel to kind of learn. Oh, and Lori Pitkus, Vice President of Sales at Emerald Green Trailers and Location Manager. I need to make my font larger. But it's so important because
Great.
once you go through it, your brain, your neuroplasticity is different because
That's a big word.
you have, I'm very neurological. You have so much that, is changing the way you looked at something and the way you're going to look at it again as you approach your next project. And that's so great. We love bringing good crews together, but for our alumni, this one really hit home for me too, because I was like, they're growing. It was so nice just seeing the magnitude of this film and how many locations. I'm watching a movie, but I'm sometimes not watching it. I'm like, oh my God, they did this, they did that, they went
Yeah, the
there.
production side of you is
Yeah.
Takes
very-
over.
I watch
Yeah.
movies so differently these days as well. After going through this, my wife will be like, "Oh, we'll sit down at night or whatever. What are you watching? Oh, I'm watching this show. It's like a quote unquote, drama, girly show, whatever." She's like, "You might not
okay,
want to
you can
watch it."
admit it.
It's all right. There's a market for that.
Sex in the City. Stop lying.
Yeah.
But she's like, "You don't want to watch it." I'm like, "I'll watch it because I look at
Yeah.
things differently. I'll
Now,
see
yep,
things
yep.
differently.
Yeah.
I'll know production value, locations, how they did things." So I learned a lot more about the movie magic side of it. the tricks
Yeah.
and this and that, and then what goes into it. So I grab different things from different things. And as an actor also, as all of us, we watch other people's performances to kind of not
Steal.
steal,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
steal,
steal.
but to be inspired by.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what I call inspiration.
Inspiration.
Awesome sauce.
Well, same with the
Awesome.
shots.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, and I
Sure.
love the wood paneling when we went in to see
Oh, yeah.
Peter Green. I was like, yeah, you're taking it back.
Ah,
Yeah.
That location was in Jersey.
Gotta love the wood.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
was
so.
in Jersey
I
City.
thought so.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of great locations in Jersey, and I think I'm all about. You don't have to go to you don't have to go to London to get like London woods. We'll get them upstate, and it's like it's just very. I don't know. I'm all about trick shotting because that'll save on the budget, and unless you really really need like one exterior, then narrow it down to that. But
And that's the independent mind.
and what I love
Yeah.
about Jersey is it's still like it's not like New York. New York knocks all the old stuff down, and they have no appreciation
Oh,
for it. And
yeah.
Jersey really, you can kind of see the old world. I always say this to my fiance. I see the old world in these old buildings. I love going back into time. So that's the cool thing.
That's awesome.
Respect to Jersey for that.
Well, I want you all to look each other in the eye right now and know you did it. You made through
Yes.
it because
thank
you
you.
are here at this point, and soon your film is going to be on this screen.
Yes.
I have goosebumps.
It's a great
Yeah.
honor.
You do.
It's a
Yeah.
great honor for sure.
Great
Yeah.
venue. You're gonna have it's a fantastic venue to be at.
And it's a good time. So everybody should get their tickets today. Go to gsff.org. That's GSFF for Garden State Film Festival.org because we are a nonprofit organization. And so Cranford is Saturday, March 29th. 2025. I always have to think, is it that day? Because we're the 27th to the 30th. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have 49 events. Over 200 films from 16 different countries, screening over 9 venues.
Wow.
The filmmaker breakfast and panel is Saturday morning at Porta, by the way.
Yeah,
Hey guys,
yes.
we're back at Porta. Yeah, so that's
Nice.
super exciting. And then the award ceremony is Sunday at the Asbury Lanes. It's like a wedding. It's black tie optional. There's a cocktail hour followed by a seated dinner, and it's super exciting. But thank you all. Do you have any last shout outs
Yeah,
or
yeah.
anything? For
I
your
want some of
crew,
this popcorn,
guys?
so-
Yeah. Actually, the Cranford Theater has the best popcorn.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah,
Just, I'm not even joking.
For sure.
You
Oh
should
yeah.
take
Oh
two.
sorry, Matt doesn't like popcorn. But it's really the best popcorn.
Yes, and Doreen is very particular about her popcorn at the Cranford Theater. She just
Perfect
doesn't allow
kernels.
any popcorn. So yeah,
Shout
has
out to
be
Doreen.
perfect
Yeah.
kernels. But yes,
And I'd like to thank you guys for accepting our film into the festival. I know
It's a great honor. Thank you.
It is.
Yes.
Thank
it's
you.
a nice festival you guys do every year. I know the work that goes into it, and we appreciate it.
yeah,
Thank you.
just feed off the
Yeah.
energy that that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally soak it in. Yeah.
And if it's your first time, you have to experience it. And we're on the crazy train also. Everything you were talking about is how the film festival gets executed every
It's
year.
production.
Yeah,
It's
it is. We run it like a shoot. But that's so great. And thank you to A Shared Universe, Ming Chen, for being
Yes.
here today.
Best.
And
Thank you, Ming.
go to gsff.org, get your tickets today. Oh yeah, the Parkway Pass is going to be sold until March 19th. That allows you, I call it like chutes and ladders. You can get into everything except the Sunday night awards dinner. So get your tickets today. It's the best bang for your buck, and you can still go and buy eggs. So we will see you soon. gsff.org. Peace out.
Later.